The horror genre is a broad spectrum. Like comedy, fear is subjective, and in order to capitalize on this, the film industry produces everything from aliens to zombies, along with everything in between. However, not all horror films are so easily categorized. Different subgenres will be utilized to affect the widest range of audience members possible, and there is no better example of this than John Carpenter's The Thing, a story about a group of Arctic scientists who encounter an alien organism that can transform into any fauna and potentially assimilate all life on Earth. The film is seen primarily as a psychological monster movie, with other aspects of madness, paranoia, and alien, along with a sprinkling of sci-fi body horror. However, these elements are furthered by two bigger ideologies, Cosmicism and Apocalypticism, which work in tandem to illustrate humanity's inevitable and certain downfall. Along with the original source material of the 1938 novel Who Goes There, written by John W. Campbell, Carpenter also cited the work of H.P. Lovecraft as an inspiration for the film. Famous for his horror fiction writing, the most popular being The Call of Cthulhu, Lovecraft developed and used a literary philosophy which he coined Cosmicism. Cosmicism is essentially existential nihilism applied to horror. The fear of Cosmicism is derived from the realization that humanity is utterly insignificant and can easily be wiped away from indifferent cosmic entities who can also be just as easily wiped away by even greater cosmic entities, and so on and so forth. Many of Lovecraft's ideals and tropes used throughout his stories are found in Carpenter's 1982 adaptation, a cosmic entity much greater than anything humanity can comprehend, that caused those who know about it to delve into madness, and misfortune that comes upon those who try to pursue knowledge. It is no coincidence that it's the scientists who are first to go in the film. Those subgenres of horror, along with the overarching sci-fi nature, are also prevalent in Lovecraft's work. But where Carpenter begins to deviate from Lovecraft's ideas of cosmicism are his focus on the human element. Though humans fighting humans is not entirely omitted from Lovecraft's work, it is usually as a result of a cosmic entity's interference, while Carpenter conveys that humanity's destruction will come as a result of our inherent flaws. From the previous 1951 adaptation of Campbell's novel directed by Christian Nyby entitled The Thing from Another World, the threat of the alien doesn't come from its infectious assimilation, but from its lack of empathy and emotion as a result of its overwhelming intelligence. Although Carpenter's rendition does not share this focus on intelligence, it does not completely discount the work of its predecessor. When we first meet the character of MacReady, played by Kurt Russell, he is playing a computer in chess until beaten, causing him to break the computer in a fit of anger. MacReady illustrates that whatever cannot be outwitted must be destroyed, but we later find that blindly trying to destroy that which threatens us usually ends up harming ourselves in the process. Carpenter has cited The Thing as the first in his Apocalypse trilogy, along with Prince of Darkness and In the Mouth of Madness. The idea being each film having a threat capable of wiping out humanity, The Thing's threat being an alien organism that could assimilate all of humanity in a matter of days should it reach a populated area. However, Carpenter shows us that in the face of impending doom, humans tend to do just as much damage trying to save themselves as they do from the source of the problem. Those at the Arctic base are more than willing to kill each other from even the slightest possibility that they could be the creature in disguise, and MacReady even kills someone who hasn't been assimilated only because they won't comply with his demands. This reflects many real-life responses by those who faced fatal infectious disease such as the bubonic plague, smallpox, but most notably the film reflects the outbreak of AIDS that was happening during its production. Carpenter has noted similarities with HIV/AIDS in various interviews and even the director commentary within the film. The parallels are clear as the blood of the alien organism contaminates the cells of other species in order to replicate them, not unlike the contaminated blood transfusions known to spread HIV/AIDS. Another feature is the all-male cast, reportedly as a result of Carpenter not having seen an all-male film for a while and just wanting to do one. But at the same time, AIDS was associated with homosexuality, and more specifically, gay men. While it is unknown if this was Carpenter's true intent, the audience derives it from their previous social conventions. Because the film was made just as AIDS was becoming known to the public, its representation of panic and paranoia is taken from previous disease outbreaks, such as the bubonic plague, where those thought to be harboring the plague were killed or sent to live in isolation, not unlike Blair, who does just that. These ideologies are combined by Carpenter in order to create something unique for the silver screen. Though already a form of horror in a way, Cosmicism and other aspects of Lovecraft have never done particularly well when put to film. Even though Carpenter's other films, Prince of Darkness and In the Mouth of Madness, are much closer to Lovecraft's work, they fell into eventual obscurity over the years. And while The Thing was a box office flop and critically panned upon its release, it was able to grow to a cult status and earn its eventual accolades with age. Most likely because it finds a balance between a body horror thriller and Cosmicism. In contrast, apocalyptic movies are not even necessarily subgenres of horror. Take the films Geostorm and Contagion, which are presented as disaster thrillers. But Carpenter reinforces the fear behind this alien outbreak by noting what it means in context for humanity with regards to Cosmicism, and by downright disturbing visuals. The Thing's perversion of the human form disturbs us not only because of the grotesque practical effects, but it blurs the line between a standard B-movie monster and ourselves. One reason the performances work well in the film is that Carpenter never told any of the cast which one of them was actually the alien in disguise, so they all had genuine paranoia and suspicions between each other, and when someone is shot and it turns out that they were human all along, the difference between what is human and what is monster begins to subside as they are both killing in order to survive. The Thing manages to maintain status as a cult classic not only because of its success at disturbing the audience, but it retains ideologies that perpetuate an existential horror that mankind faces as a species. Either humanity will fall to an uncontainable threat, or destroy itself in an effort to survive. But in the meantime, The Thing will continue to be a horror cult classic, influencing creature design and other works of horror across all mediums, or its use of outstanding practical effects even in an age of CGI, or even its use of narrative tension. Quentin Tarantino even cited The Thing's use of paranoia and claustrophobia as inspiration for his film The Hateful Eight, a film that similarly builds tension through the distrust of its characters who are trapped in a snowed-in location. After 35 years, The Thing still manages to be an effective and influential film. Whether it will continue to stand the test of time, or whether humanity will have wiped itself out and fulfill Carpenter's apocalyptic prediction, we'll just have to wait and see.